Hi traders, you're welcome to my video on a super simple scalping strategy. All right, and this strategy is built specifically for the 1 minute and 5 minute time frames. Okay, whether you were trading Forex, crypto, or indices, this method is clean, fast, and effective. So first of all, let us get the indicator that we are going to be using added to our chart. We are going to be using the LuxAlgo indicator for this particular strategy. All right, but the particular LuxAlgo indicator we're going to be looking at is a dynamic support and resistance indicator. I think this should be our indicator. Okay. Now on your chart, you apply the indicator and make sure that you've got your preferred market loaded, the particular asset that you want to trade, whether it's a currency pair or Bitcoin or NASDAQ or whatever. All right. Now, for scalping, you want minimal delay and maximum clarity. Okay. So you can actually modify this multiplicative factor and ATR length and even extend last to suit your trading style. Okay, as a scalper, if you want more sensitive indicator, if you want a more sensitive reaction by this indicator, you might want to reduce the values of this, but that's strictly up to you. Okay, that's strictly up to you. Then you can actually just leave the other settings the way that they are. Okay, but if there is any other thing that you need to modify around here, well, it's your choice, right? You feel free to modify the settings according to your taste. Okay, but you also want to be looking at keeping your chart clean. Keep your chart clean. Just price and then the LuxAlgo support and resistance dynamic signals. All right. So we're talking about a scalping strategy. You can actually start with a 1 minute. So for the 1 minute time frame, we are looking for fast confirmation. Okay, you wait for the indicator to show a a buy or sell signal in the form of this dynamic support or resistance zone. As you can see, that the indicator actually points out dynamic zones, right? Horizontal support and resistance zones that price respects. Okay, you can see that these zones, price respect these zones at some point, right? But the zones eventually get broken. You remember that support and resistance zones will still get broken. They do not remain defensive forever, right? What I mean by defensive is like they can't hold price forever without getting broken at some point, right? So but on the 1 minute chart, you can see, for example, this particular zone was respected here, it was respected here again, and it is projected into the future. So price is already got close to it, but it didn't exactly touch it. Now this particular zone, you see, it was respected here, here, and here again, and then we had to break out this upside and came back, and just started fluctuating around the zone. Okay, so basically, if the market is trending up and you get the price near a support zone, if price is trending up, all right, and then you have a support zone form, like this example now, price was trending up, right, and they have a support zone form, and maybe price gets close to it and is getting rejected, that could be a cue to enter a buy trade. Okay, now for the 5 minute time frame, the rules are the same, but the setups are often stronger and less frequent. So here you are waiting for the indicator to give you an important zone plus a clear break, or a clear break above or below recent structure. So you want to also be watching out for structure, market structure, in addition to the support and resistance zones being pointed out by the indicator. All right, in this case, we can see that we are already having the formation of lower highs and lower lows in this sell trend, right? We're having lower highs and lower lows, and then you can see that price broke below this particular support zone, making it turn into a resistance. And then even though price did not exactly come back to retest this zone, but we have a structure that is still in support of the bearish market that we see here. So in as much as price didn't exactly come back to touch here, we had a lower high form, and if you have a confirmation, then well, you can go ahead. But if you don't get a confirmation, you can just stay out of the trade. Okay, a confirmation could be in the form of a bearish candlestick pattern, since this is a bearish trend. All right, since it's a bearish trend, you can be looking out for a bearish candlestick pattern. Like you can see here, we had a bearish engulfing. We had a bearish engulfing around here, right? You can see we had a bearish engulfing around here. So if you enter a sell probably around here, the stop loss can be above that engulfing pattern, right? Above the engulfing pattern, and then your take profits can be around the next key zone. Okay, you can actually target the these zones. Let's see, there was a rejection around here, right? Right, although here price dropped below it and was fluctuating and all of that. Okay, so you can actually target this next important zone for your take profit and make sure that you have a good risk to reward ratio. Now, basically, once you are in a trade, it's all about execution. You keep your stops just beyond the recent swing high or low, or candlestick pattern that verified your entry, depending on your direction, right? Whether it's bearish or bullish. In scalping, quick decision making is key. So don't hold on to losing trades hoping that they will turn around. For your exits, just look for the opposite, um, your opposite key level. If you are in a sell trade and maybe you entered around the resistance, you should be looking at maybe a support zone, right? But if, for example, this particular red zone that this indicator pointed out, it gave us a bad risk to reward ratio. So I wouldn't have recommended using that as your take profit. But so long as you are in a bearish trend, it means price will likely break it, unless if that zone is very strong. And maybe of course, if you begin to see a fluctuation around that zone, it could be a sign that the bulls are trying to regain momentum. But if you don't see a significant rejection from that support zone, you can just allow your take profit to be at the next key level. Okay, so this is just an example. All right, so remember that the 1 minute time frame gives you speed, while the 5 minute time frame offers stronger confirmation. Together, they create a balanced scalping approach that is easy to follow. It's also adaptable. You can apply the same rules to Forex pairs, crypto coins, or even stock indices without changing the core method. So that is the complete breakdown of this super simple scalping strategy with this particular LuxAlgo indicator for the 1 minute and 5 minute time frames. Keep your charts clean, follow the rules, and let this LuxAlgo indicator guide your entries and exits. So if you found this strategy useful, click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more trading breakdowns and indicator setups. I'll see you in the next video. Happy trading.